After his second public incident, freezing up during a press conference for the second time in about a month, Mitch McConnell back on the Senate floor yesterday. He froze up during a press conference in his home state of Kentucky last week. He vowed yesterday that he will finish up his term in the United States Senate, which will expire in January of 2027. Joining us now for more, Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. Great to have you back on. Good to see you.
Good morning, Rob. It's great to be with you, too.
So, Senator, you were with Mitch McConnell yesterday on Capitol Hill when he addressed these issues. Let's take a listen.
Can you tell us what is afflicting you and characterize what is the level of transparency that the people of Kentucky deserve to hear about your condition?
Well, I think Dr. Monahan covered.
We'd like to hear from you.
I know you are hearing from me. I think Dr. Monahan covered the subject fully. You had a chance to read it. I don't have anything to add to it, and I think it should answer any reasonable question.
All right, so Senator, the Capitol Hill doctor says, this is a quote, there's no evidence of a seizure disorder or that McConnell has experienced a stroke, TIA, or movement disorder like Parkinson's disease. Fine, but something's going on. How does he seem to you?
Yes, he seems quite well, actually, other than those two episodes that have been documented. He is responding quite well. I actually was in a leadership meeting with him the other evening, and he was clear as a bell as he was addressing the concerns with the upcoming continuing resolution or appropriations bills, how we move through the rest of this year. He also detailed for us how he spent his time over the August recess. He was quite active out and engaged, raising money for Senate colleagues. So he seems to be doing quite well. We wish him the best. And as you just stated, he was fully cleared by the senior physician here at the United States.
Yeah, and Joe Biden was fully cleared by the White House doctor as well, and I don't know if I trust that report. And Senator, I enjoy having you on. I respect you, but I don't know if he's clear as a bell. Something's going on. He's 81 years old. Do you think it might be time for Mitch McConnell to hang him up? And I just say that because, look, Democrats are going to defend 23 Senate seats in November 2024. Yeah. Republicans are only defending 10. This is a big opportunity to retake the Senate, a big opportunity. Is Mitch McConnell really the right person to lead that movement?
Well, as you're talking about elections, a large part of elections will be the fundraising functions of our Republican colleagues. And Mitch McConnell, again, over August, raised the most money of any single month, likely in the history of Senate Republicans. And that was just done singularly by him. So he is quite a force to reckon with when it comes to fundraising and elections. I do think that the people of Kentucky will make whatever decision is necessary. But for now, we will continue moving forward. It's important that we're supporting our colleagues, and one way we can do that is through the fundraising operations that we have. Yep. What I do want to point out to Rob, though, I think it's important to make this distinction, is that Mitch McConnell is the minority leader in the Senate. Mainstream media does not want to focus on Joe Biden, so they are targeting Mitch McConnell. And yet it is President Joe Biden that is the commander-in-chief of our nation and does have his finger on the nuclear buttons. So I would compare and contrast.
And Dianne Feinstein and John Fetterman. Look, Senator, this is not, right. We spent a lot of time talking about Joe Biden. And your colleague Ted Cruz had a really interesting comment yesterday. This is a quote. I'm curious why I've gotten more questions in the last 2 days about Mitch McConnell's health than I've heard in the last 2.5 years about Joe Biden's obvious mental decline. That's Ted Cruz. I think this is a much bigger issue. And if I'm hearing you correctly, Mitch McConnell's great at fundraising, but that's sort of sad, too. We're going to keep this guy around in maybe with diminished abilities health-wise because he's struggling with his health, but because he's so good at fundraising, we're going to keep him around. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I would say that that is part of it, Rob. It is not the entire picture, but a significant part of his duties as the leader. And when people question his duties as again, the minority leader in the Senate, a large portion of that is being able to raise the dollars from those major donors across the United States. He still was very sharp, though. I will reiterate that just what I witnessed in our leadership meeting is that he was able to walk us through quite clearly what he envisioned for the rest of the year. So there is some debate to be had, I think, when there are health issues. I'm not going to deny that, Rob. But from what I can tell right now is that he intends to move forward. He's stated that quite clearly.
Right.
And should there be other issues in the future with him or any other elected official, then we would need to have those
Absolutely. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Iowa Senator Joni Ernst,
so
we appreciate you being with us this morning. By the way, enjoy the football game this weekend. There is a big one happening in the great state of Iowa. It's great to see you, Senator.
Go Clones. Thank you.
I don't think Matt Whitaker will agree with you there, but thank you for that, Senator. Great to see you. Okay, we'll leave it there.